Still running your mouth? I know you're still running your mouth. It seems like you just gotta run your mouth.
Hello YouTubers, welcome to Making a Good Duelist. Making a Good Duelist. And today's topic of making a good duelist is going to be about bluffing in Yu-Gi-Oh. Bluffing in Yu-Gi-Oh. Alright, for those of you who don't know what bluffing is faking or acting like you have a move or play or cards or trap set or anything that will keep your opponent guessing and keep your opponent from making a move you don't want them to make. Now, let me give you an example of that. Alright, I was in a match playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And this guy, he was going to go for the win, right? He had monsters on the field. I had one card face down. And if he attacked with all those monsters, he would have won. But I asked him the question. The question was, are all your monsters in attack mode? And once I asked that guy that question, he started to think, what is that face down card that he had, that I have? And I was bluffing that it was a Mirror Force when it was a heavy storm. So he decided to turn his monsters in defense mode, attack, and my turn. He ended his turn. I went, I drew a top deck something, I played heavy storm, went for game. Bluffing in Yu-Gi-Oh! Wins games. Whether you have a crappy deck or a good deck, bluffing can be the factor of you winning or losing. No matter how bad your hand is or how good your opponent's hand is, bluffing is the main winning factor or the big winning factor in Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, you need to bluff. You need to bluff. Like, you can bluff with Gores, you can bluff with Dark Arm. You know how you bluff with Dark Arm? Say you don't have a Dark Arm, right, in your hand. And it's like 2 darks in the graveyard or 3 darks in the graveyard. Your opponent will do moves to prevent that Dark Arm from coming out. And you can probably use that as a bluff or a decoy away from your main plan. Those are ways you can win. You have to really think. You have to be a very good Yu-Gi-Oh! Player to learn and master bluffing. It's all about your face, your hand, your movement, the way you look into your deck, the way you shuffle your hands, the way you think about your move. All that is important in bluffing. All that is important. So if you sit here and you just not do anything, and you make moves like, oh my goodness, I wish I had a better hand, or you say things like that, your opponent automatically or most of the time thinks that you really suck, or you don't know what you're doing. Or you can act like you're making play mistakes, like, oh, I made the wrong move, when you absolutely made the right move. And your opponent thinks that, oh, he don't know what he's doing, this and that. And he commits himself. And committing means going for game. He commits himself. And then when you go, you're like, oh, I'll win. You know? He commits himself. Now if you're jittering your hands, that shows that you are nervous. That shows that you might have a good hand and you want to win and you're trying to go. Your opponent can read that you might have a good hand, or because you're shaking like, oh yeah, this is so great, I'm going to win this. You all up like this. You know, most of the time, myself, I just pretend that I have a bad hand. Or I'm like, go, just set one and just go. And then attack it, or something happens and I got Gores or something like that. Yeah, and people can read Gores. This is what I hate about bluffing. When people say, on their first turn, go, I don't got nothing. They have no emotion, they say go, I don't got nothing. I automatically know it's Gores. Most of the time, or all the time, it's always Gores. They say go on their first, okay, go, pow, Gores. I knew that was coming. I set up for those things. People looking at graveyard like they got, like light swarms. They look, check how many light swarms they got. If you are a good player, you would not look into your grave. You should already know what's in your grave without looking into the grave. You should have a count. So people won't guess, oh, you got Judgment Dragon in your hand. You looking, oh, you got Judgment Dragon. Let me put bottomless face down. Summon Judgment Dragon, bottomless. You gotta think. Don't look in your grave. That shows that people can't read whether you have Dark Arm or Judgment Dragon in your hand. If you can set one card, even if you have Gores. If that card can save you more than Gores, set it. So, bluffing in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is very important. And I hope that you invest time in learning and growing different styles of bluffing in Yu-Gi-Oh! That takes skill. That bluffing and doing that takes skill.